Hello, my name is Hawaii and welcome to the very first episode of Cooking with Hawaii. In this episode, I will be cooking chicken bodine, my grandmother's awesome recipe of awesomeness that you'll see when I'm done with this. What this video is going to show is me doing step-by-step of me cooking the dish and show you how to make chicken bodine.
The ingredients you're going to need are 4 to 8 chicken breasts or 1 fully cooked chicken, 1.5 pounds of sharp cheddar cheese, 2 cans of golden mushroom, 1/4 of a cup of flour, 1 stick of butter, 2 1/4 cup of half and half or heavy whipping cream. I said earlier you can use a fully cooked chicken as well as frozen chicken breast. If you do use frozen chicken breast, you're going to have to defrost it and then cook it. If you do, however, use a fully cooked chicken, just shred it and it's good to go. Next, it's time to shred your cheese. Cut your cheese into smaller slices so that way it's easier to shred. Use the bigger shred so that way it's easier to shred, as in it won't take nearly as long, and even though it will take a little longer to melt, the pig pieces are pretty nice. I prefer to use the whole thing of cheese because cheese is awesome. Sweet, now that our chicken is defrosted, it's time to cook it. Set your stove to medium-high heat, then put some coconut oil in your pan. It will help with the cooking of the chicken so that way it doesn't stick to the pan, and also gives it a nice little healthy taste to it. Don't use too much as it will become very oily. Make sure the oil coats the entire pan. Now it's time to cook the chicken breast. Make sure each side is cooked before flipping it, and also make sure the middle is thoroughly cooked. If it's not thoroughly cooked, then it will not be easy to cut, and it will not be cooked while it is in the crock pot. So make sure it's mostly, if not fully, cooked. As soon as it's cooked, put it onto a plate and let it cool for about 5 minutes. After it's cooled, get something you like to shred with. I personally like 2 small forks and shred it into very, very thin pieces. These pieces here are about what you want. However, smaller pieces can be used, just don't cube them or slice them. Make sure it's shredded. Then you put everything together. First, your chicken. Then put in as much cheese as you decided to shred. Then add 2 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream or half and half, either works. Then add 2 cans of golden mushroom. Then add the butter. If you want it to melt faster, cut it up in little pieces with a butter knife. Then add your 1/4 cup of flour. If it seems to be too soupy after it's cooked, you can always add a little more flour, but don't do too much. Then set it to a low setting. I prefer to use 8-hour setting, but it will not take 8 hours to cook. Only use the 8-hour setting if you don't have time to stir it every few minutes. When you're all done, don't forget to clean up your mess. Use magic. This is what your final product should look like, a very thick soup. But what are you going to eat it with if it's too thick to be a soup? Use rice. Rice is the best thing to counteract the thickness of the delicious chicken bodine. I usually put a little more rice than I do bodine as the bodine soaks in quite a bit. Take a couple scoops of bodine, put it into your bowl, and then mix it all up. Your final product should look like this.